Alert 6 starts now.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6. I'm Cerise Cole, along with meteorologist Jared Lansford.
Yeah, Aaron Hartley, joined by Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Alert. It feels more full on the cast.
We have everybody.
Yes, it's nice to see you guys.
Yeah, no kidding.
The last 2 weeks were spotty, for sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, let's get back to the forecast. Of course, a lot of people back to their normal lives, going back to work, going back to school. Some good news, if you're feeling bummed about maybe some of that for you. Some good news in the forecast. It's going to be pretty mild for us.
Yeah, nothing really weather-wise to worry about to get started in the first full week we've had in quite some time. So temperatures are pretty mild even out the door for this time of year. Now, remember, average high is about 33, 34 here for much of January. That's where we're at right now officially at the airport. There are some upper 20s around the area, but it feels like temperature about 25. You can see 33 Crescent, Omaha, Council Bluffs, 29 in Bellevue, Millard, Papillion, 28 in Elkhorn, 30 in Glenwood. Current temperatures over much of the wider view of the viewing area, getting a little colder. Columbus 24, 25 in Tacoma. So the wind gust forecast for today is going to try to drag in a little bit more warmth. You got some south winds up to 10 miles per hour. This would be about the only thing that I think could get in the way of some warmth. You got some high clouds that are moving through. A lot of these probably won't pose a huge threat. They'll just kind of filter our sunshine over the course of the day today. So first alert forecast starts off right around 30 like we are now, some 20s, some 30s. By 9 o'clock, we're mid 30s. And by noon, we're up to about 50 degrees. Should have 50s most of the afternoon. 53, I think, is going to be pretty common for a high temperature around the metro. 4 or 5 o'clock starting to get some clearing to the west. Unfortunately, that's going to be rolling in right as the sun sets. And then we may see some fog fill in parts of the area, especially near and east of the river during the evening and overnight. So another aspect to watch overnight as more high clouds move in. So there's a lot happening on the map here. It doesn't have any huge impacts over much of the area, but we just got to watch out for a little fog tomorrow to start off the day that I think we're going to be able to burn through pretty quickly. 53 today with a lot of high clouds. It's not going to be completely cloudy. 53 on Tuesday and 58 on Wednesday. So that is a pretty good 3-day stretch there as we climb to near 60 degrees on Wednesday. Check the records. It's out of reach on Wednesday, but we're getting close.
But still a very nice start to our week. We do have a first alert for Friday, though. We need to pay attention.
Yeah, that's the one day this week where things take a turn. A reminder that it's January, we'll say. 39 for the high on Friday, and the chance of some rain changing to snow. So keep an eye on this one. This is by far the biggest issue for the upcoming week, will be what this can do Friday into the evening and overnight with some wind and some snow. Likely to have some difficulty driving around Friday evening. Colder air will move in for the weekend, but not incredibly cold. There is a chance of some rain on Thursday. Not overly concerned about that. That looks like it'll just stay in liquid form, not be a big issue, just impact parts of the area. It's Friday as this next system rolls in, and models are inconsistent on just how it's going to track through. These are all the details that we learn more about as we get closer and closer to it. So I don't sweat the small stuff yet. The bigger picture here showing us Friday, probably late afternoon, evening, and then during the overnight, a band of snow tries to move through and attack on some accumulation, and then maybe a little bit more drops in from the north on the backside of this on Saturday. That would just be some spotty snow showers, most likely. So what does that mean for us? Well, we look at the path of the snow that this system's trying to drop down, and this is what we'll be focusing on. We'll see how this bounces around on models over the next several days. Hopefully it comes to a decent conclusion or a decent agreement here as we get a little bit closer. Maybe by Wednesday we can put together a snow forecast that has some more precise numbers with it, but 47 on Thursday, 39 on Friday. And there's the colder air. We get more snow out of Friday. We may have to cool down some of these numbers, but fairly short-lived. And when the cold bursts are in the 30s in January, you know, that's not that bad of a deal. You know it can be below zero and way below zero. It doesn't look like it with this round.
Okay. I'll be happy about that. That's good news. I was going to update on the roads this morning. Of course, as we mentioned before, a lot of people are heading back to their usual routines, which means more people on the roads.
Yeah, and that means we're going to be watching for more problems that could impact more people than what we've had the last couple of weeks. And we do have a new crash zone at First Alert U2. Let's take a look at where we're at with this one. It's 30th and Hamilton, and you can see that we have some slowdowns that are showing up in just about every direction with this crash. So you need to watch that one just to the west of the North Freeway, where we have that one being in place. And that's an area where there could be maybe some emergency crews that are present. So 30th and Hamilton, First Alert 2, that one being our first crash of the day. Otherwise, it's been a pretty smooth start to the morning so far. We've had a couple of spots that have been showing some off and on delays. That includes Blair High right around 680. Nothing major that's showing up there right now, but just a little slow as you're going westbound right near those entrance ramps at 680. A little further to the south, this is 370 as you're making your way just past 36. Some delays over toward 48. Again, nothing big, but just kind of seeing that process of more and more vehicles getting on the roads taking place in real time. And that's likely what you're seeing there with some of those delays that are showing up in that area. So that's kind of the main story of our commute so far. We just have some of these delays that are showing up in a few different spots. We do have temps that are below freezing in a good portion of the metro. So keep that in mind. When you get to some of those bridges, maybe a couple of slick spots that may try to develop. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but you can't let your guard down with that kind of scenario. So keep that in mind as you're heading out and about as well. Otherwise, here's the full picture of the commute. You can see just a couple of minor delays in some spots where we typically pick things up in the early going, such as 370 as you're right around the Gretna East High area, and then also around 180th and Maple, just a little bit slow in that stretch, but there's a whole lot of green on that map. And I'm really hoping as everyone's getting back into that routine, we can make it at least a little easier with having a smooth commute alongside that.
Yeah, we're hoping so. All right, Jared, thank you. To your news now, breaking this morning, deposed Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has arrived at an American courtroom for his first appearance in front of a judge. This is new video from his transport that happened just moments ago. He is set to face the narco-terrorism charges the Trump administration used to justify capturing him over the weekend. Following the news of his capture, Omaha protesters took to the streets. Nebraska Representative Don Bacon says he thinks it's a good step forward for Venezuela.
I'm excited for the Venezuelan people, but the president's got to get this right now for the follow-on actions to be right. If the message is that we're doing this to take control of Venezuelan oil, it's going to be widely rejected by most Americans and the world.
Meanwhile, the chair of the Nebraska Democratic Party released a statement saying the U.S.'s takeover of Venezuela is, quote, a dangerous precedent and one our Democratic Party stands against.
Happening today, the next phase of construction for the Omaha streetcar. Farnam Street will close between 28th and 29th for bridge reconstruction. The closure will be in effect for about 11 months. Now, this weekend, crews will begin demolishing the Farnam Street Bridge over I-480. As the bridge gets demolished, the freeway below will also be closed. I-480 is expected to reopen about a week from today. Now, also next Monday, the 28th Street between Harney and Farnam will close for water main and sewer work. That closure will last for about 4 months.
All right, Erin, thank you. Here at the Safety Desk with our Maria Kate. And Maria, dry January is a trend that continues to become popular when we start off the new year.
Yeah, a lot of people do it, and experts say staying sober, even for that short amount of time, it can really help your health. So if you are hoping for that healthier start for the new year, this could be an option for you if you're still trying to figure out your goals for the start of 2026. So cutting out alcohol, even for those 4 weeks, it can make a really big difference in your health. Experts say many people experience sleep improvements, more energy, weight loss, greater physical activity, and just overall improved well-being in general. So giving up those cocktails, of course, it can be a little challenging if you're used to it. So experts actually say it's best to get your friends and your family involved, get them on board and do it with you so you're all doing it together. And that way you have that social support to get you through the month as well. Now, if you do slip up, because that does happen, of course, we're all human. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You can just pick back up and start back up again.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to give up if you have one little slip. And if you get the urge, there's so many good, delicious mocktails out there now.
And I mean, most bars offer them now too. So if you still want to go out with friends who aren't partaking, you can still have a drink that doesn't have alcohol in it.
I like it. Good idea, Maria. Thank you. We'll be right back after this short break.
Welcome back on this Monday morning. The time now 7:14. Taking a live look outside, overlooking Midtown Crossing, downtown Omaha skyline. Beautiful view as the sun starts to come up over the metro. What's great today, we have a pretty nice forecast for beginning of January. I don't think we can ask for much better. It's also a great day to get your car washed.
Exactly.
I've seen a lot of dirty cars on the roads.
Yeah, the lines might be a little long today. People getting that done on the way home from work, but you kind of saw the sky there. That's kind of what we're going to be dealing with. Just kind of a filtered sunshine is the best way to put it, with partly to mostly cloudy skies and 53 with things moving along pretty well on this area here, Council Bluffs, just on the Iowa side of the river. Some high clouds, filtered sunshine today. Early this week, through about Wednesday, we're going to see some pretty dry and mild air win out. So temperatures well into the 50s. It's by Friday when we see some rain, some snow, and some wind along with it. And that's why we made it a first alert 6 weather day. So high clouds moving through now. They're going to be pretty harmless. We're right around 30, should go into the lower 50s this afternoon. I think things are looking pretty good today with some mid and high level clouds going through. Then this first alert 6 weather day for Friday. This is the one you want to really pay attention to, because I think by the afternoon we'll get some rain changing to snow. Should be all snow by the evening. Accumulation looking likely with some wind gusts to near 30 miles per hour, trying to blow that snow around. Again, the exact track's going to make a huge determine on who gets the worst of this one, but we're going to get probably some rough travel sometime Friday evening through the overnight hours. And you can see 50s leading up to that. It's rain potential on Thursday. And by Friday, here's how this tries to move in here. This is 7 a.m. and you can see how gradually we fill up with some moisture. Models vary a little bit on just how soon this takes place and where this track sets up. You can see the evening and overnight hours that would move through and off towards the east. And there might even be a couple of snow showers dropping from the north on Saturday too. But overall, I think Friday evening right now is the one to watch. Of course, you can see it's still 4 to 5 days away, so we got a little time for this to change up a little bit. But bigger picture shows that is the storm system we're watching for the end of the week. That makes some impacts for our area.
Notice the temperature also drops on Friday. So after the snow, will the temps continue to fall?
Yeah, I talked about this a little bit last week too, about how this upcoming weekend to be the next sign of any cold blast, and then you wonder how long does it stick around? Well, it doesn't look all that intense or all that long-lived. You'll notice here we dip down into the 30s Saturday and Sunday with maybe a morning in the teens. We'll see if we get more snow out of Friday. Those could trend a little colder, but we rebound pretty well, and it does look like through most of next week, we may end up being a little bit warmer than average. Now, unfortunately, I think by the following weekend, so not this upcoming weekend, but the next one, we could do this all over again with another round of some colder air, but nothing looks long-lived. They're just short rounds of cold air right now. We'll see if one of these can hang on a little bit more and maybe stay around for 3 or 4 days. I don't want that.
Kind of been that way, right? Like that's the pattern we've had.
Yeah, if we can get them out of here in a couple of days, it's not too shabby.
Okay. All right. Good news from him. Let's get an update on the roads this morning. The big name of the game is Farnam today, of course, with the impending streetcar construction. First it was Harney. Now on to the next.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing, just we're doing it on a different bridge, and that starts this morning. So let's look at what we've got going on there. It is the top left picture that you have there in that quad box. Just kind of starting off giving you a look at how things are moving throughout the metro. It's pretty quiet at this point, starting to pick up the amount of traffic on the roads. We'll keep an eye out for any other issues that may pop up. It's been a nice smooth start. But Farnam is going to be closing on the bridge here at over 480 in the next few hours. Don't have an exact time that happens, but it is still open right now. I do expect by the time we get to 10 a.m., before that, we will likely have this closed. And so this is going to be closed for quite some time, all the way through December as that bridge gets torn down and then rebuilt, just like what we saw with Harney. So while that's the case, let me give you the first alert of some good options as alternate routes in the meantime. And start with what's probably a pretty obvious one. You can use Dodge instead and make your way westbound. That'll get you around that closure. There's another option that you can use, and this is to use St. Mary's, and that eventually makes its way onto Leavenworth. You can go westbound from there. So couple of different ways you can get where you need to go here with that Farnam closure being in place. It's going to be another big disruption on traffic. Keep that in mind here over the next several months, almost year, that will be in place. Aside from that, it's been a pretty smooth start to the commute, as I said. We're starting to get some delays that are showing up on 204th between Elkhorn and Gretna. Another sign that we're getting more and more traffic on the roads, that we're seeing that delay showing up. JFK's been pretty good, though. No real problems on Dodge just yet. And I'm hoping here as we continue through the morning, we can see the traffic look at least pretty similar to this as we get into the peak of our Monday morning drive.
All right, Jared, thank you very much. Meantime, back to news. North Omaha businessman and civil rights leader Daniel Goodwin Sr. has passed away.
Yeah, he owned Goodwin's Spencer Street Barbershop for decades. Goodwin's passing was announced on the shop's Facebook page. He and his wife first opened the shop back in 1955. Dan was also a prominent advocate for equal rights. He participated in the March on Washington in 1963. Memorial arrangements for Dan are pending. He was 93 years old.
Happening today, a new warming center will open up in Council Bluffs. This will offer homeless individuals a place to stay that's safe, get access to resources as well. New Vision's Homeless Services is preparing to open the center. Inside, guests will find hot meals, warm clothing, even a portable shower. Case managers will work with guests to help them find permanent housing. The warming center will be open through Friday from 9 to 4. It'll be located at 16th and Avenue I.
We'll still have this morning moviegoers. This one's for you.
Now we'll break down the weekend's box office winners when we come back.
Welcome back, everybody. The first weekend of 2026 looked a lot like the last weekend of 2025 at the box office anyway.
Yeah, it's a big movie viewing time, right? Here are early estimates for the top 5 films in theaters right now. Anaconda held on to 5th place, snaking off, get it, with $10 million. Marty Supreme took in $12.6 million, falling into 4th place. The Housemaid moved up to 3rd place, making $14.9 million. Want to see that next? Just read the book. Zootopia 2 collected $19 million for 2nd place and a domestic total of $364 million. And then Avatar, Fire and Ash stayed on top, grossing $40 million for a domestic total of $306 million. I saw this one this past weekend with my fiance. We loved it. Highly recommend. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes. So you got to have some time during your day, and we did. But
is there an intermission?
No. You can make one on your own. But yeah, some good ones though.
I do want to see Housemaid too. I've heard my friend want to see it, and she said it was excellent.
The book is fabulous. It's a quick read, so a lot of people have been looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I just saw Morty Supreme on Friday.
What'd you think?
I actually fell asleep halfway through because it was
It's
very
easy to
late
do
at
on
night.
this shift.
Yes, it was very late at night. But what I saw was very energetic, high energy, a lot going on. It was pretty chaotic. But I think I got to go back and watch it again to really fully say how I feel about it.
It's been getting some really great reviews. So
Timothée Chalamet won the Critics' Choice Award last night.
heard.
Yeah. First award show of award season.
Here we go. Starts us off. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over our air.
have a great start to your Monday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Monday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. A lot of people going back to work and to school today. A new crash to First Alert to 2. Here's Jared Lansford.
Yeah, this is on I-680 as you're heading southbound. This is between Maple and Dodge that this crash is in place. It's on the shoulder, but it's both shoulders that are blocked. So this is the view of what we've got going on. You can see one vehicle right there. There's another couple of vehicles there on the left shoulder. So use caution as you're getting through this stretch there as you're going underneath Blondo. Also another crash that is in place. This is 30th and Hamilton. Some delays as you're heading northbound and westbound. Use caution as you're heading out and about. We've got a lot of people that are getting back into their routine, and hopefully the rest of the commute goes pretty smooth. Rusty.
Yeah, likely the heaviest traffic we've had on the road for several weeks. And well, you got a little bit of sunshine right now, some high clouds. You can see how thin and wispy these clouds are. These are a lot of high clouds that'll kind of filter our sunshine today. We're right around 30 degrees, some lower 30s, some upper 20s as of right now. Current temperatures, you can see vary a little bit, but mostly pretty close to 30 degrees. First alert to about 38 by 10 o'clock. We'll be near 50 at noon and should have 50s most of the afternoon, even with the high clouds moving through. So a great day, about 20 degrees above average. Keep an eye on Friday, though. First alert 6 weather day for 39 degrees and then rain changing to snow in the afternoon, snow in the evening and overnight. Could have some difficult driving sometime Friday evening, the way it's looking right now. Erin?
Well, a new warming center opens today in Council Bluffs. It offers homeless individuals a place to stay and get access to resources. The center will be open through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Well, it is 7:28, and we are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.